So we learned today in class, the first thing we're going to do with these is we're going to go ahead and graph them. And when we graph, we're going to want a table of values, and you can again use your calculators to do that. You want to think inside opposite. Opposite of this minus 1 would be positive 1. And then we'll want two values to the left and to the right of that so that we can get a clear depiction of what this graph looks like. So this is my table of values. So you can plug it in. If we put a negative 1 in here, negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. 3 to the negative second power is really equal to 1/9. And 1/9 minus 2 is going to be negative 1 and 8/9. And then we have, if we plug in a 0, 0 minus 1 is negative 1. And 3 to the negative 1 is really 1/3. 1/3 minus 2 is negative 1 and 2/3. It's kind of getting all muddled here. I'll move that in just a minute so you can see better. Then we're going to do a 1 in there. 1 minus 1 is 0. 3 to the 0th is equal to 1. And 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Then we do the 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 to the second power, 3 to the first power is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. And then finally 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. So for this table of values, I'm going to write it just a little bit better so you can see it. And again, you can use your calculator to do this. I didn't bring my calculator home with me, so I had to do this kind of all long math. So we're going to have negative 1.8 repeating. We're going to have negative 1.6. We're going to have negative 1. We're going to have positive 1. And then we're going to have 7. So we're going to plot those points here on this graph. Give me just a second to plot these. Negative 1, comma, negative 1.8, 0, negative 1.6, 1, negative 1, 2, comma, 1, and 3, comma, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my graph is going to look something like this. Now, it says horizontal asymptote. Remember, that's the line it won't cross, which is going to be right here. So what's the equation of that flat line? The horizontal asymptote is going to be y equals, and that's at negative 2. We can also get that from up here. And I'm sorry, you guys can't see that. So y equals negative 2, but we can also get that from right up here. That same number should match. If you look at this, this is concave up. The domain and range. Well, let's talk about the domain. The domain can be any possible value for x. We can plug in any x we want into this initial equation. So we could say it as all real numbers, or we could say it in interval notation. The farthest number to the left to the farthest number to the right. Negative infinity to positive infinity. Make sure you put curved brackets on both of those to say it continues on. And then the range is going to be the lowest number to the highest number. It's your y's. So your lowest number, the lowest this can possibly be, well, it's going towards that y equals negative 2. It's never actually going to touch it, so we're going to use that curved bracket to say it's approaching the negative 2. Comma, it's forever going up. So the highest number to the the highest number up would be to positive infinity. We could also write this as y has got to be greater than negative 2. A second way to look at it. End behavior. Remember, we're going to start this with as x approaches negative infinity, f of x is going to approach. Remember, that's a fancy way to write y. So as x is going towards negative infinity, so as we follow the graph towards negative infinity, where's the y going? Y is going towards that negative 2. For the other statement, as x approaches positive infinity, f of x is approaching. So as x forever goes towards the right, so as we follow this towards the right, as x approaches positive infinity, the y is going up forever, which would be towards positive infinity. The intercepts. Well, notice here, this one actually does cross the x-axis. We kind of have to estimate what our x-intercept is here. It's somewhere here between 1 and 2. So I'm going to say it's maybe like 1.75. For this sake, we haven't really dealt with in this class how to specifically find the x-intercept, so don't worry about that. But you should be able to estimate that it's here between 1 and 2, so it looks like it's pretty close to the 2, 1.75. This is the only place that crosses the x-axis. It does cross the y-axis, so that was your x-intercept. It does cross the y-axis right here, and we know that value because we got it from our table. So the y-axis would be 0, negative 1.6. I'm sorry, my son is in the background making noises. All right, and then the final one, intervals of increase or decrease. Read this like a book. As you're reading the page from the left to the right, this graph is forever going up. So it's going to be an increase, and it's increasing from the very left of our book, or our page, negative infinity, forever to the right, positive infinity.